先不说冠军嘛，就是我们就是目标是先进到决赛，然后去在决赛这
I
一
love to
路
watch,
上
but I
我们
know
去
the
打得
results,
更
so
好，做
enjoy
得更好。
everyone.
然
Yo,
后在决赛的时
SKZ,
候
I appreciate you
就希
not
望能够
spoiling,
发
man.
挥出更好的，每
You
个
know
人
what?
能够表
You
现
didn't
更好的
spoil.
自己吧，然后
You
去
deserve a
能够
kiss.
赢下来。
I have to say, I believe all
Yeah,
the
pin
pro
it.
players, the ultimate
Babkus
goal is
pinned
always
it
a
at
champion
8:44. I don't know if
standing
it's still
on
there.
the final stage. So, and also, I think all the
Yo,
teams
chat, you
can
still
qualify
welcome.
to
You're
the
still
final.
welcome to watch, even
Definitely
if you know the
they're
first
not
result.
all strong teams. But for
But,
us,
yeah.
our goal for now is we are
Excellent
going to try our
connection.
best
Yeah,
to
it
just
is,
go
isn't it?
to the final stage for this MSI.
Okay.
And we really need to do more progress, do more growth through this whole journey. And hopefully, if we got a chance to maybe stand in the final stage for this MSI, we're going to just showcase our best talent, to showcase the most best performance on stage to you guys, and we're going to try our best through this whole long journey.
With all the opponents that you would have to face, I see one team behind you getting ready that maybe you want to take revenge on. T1 might be your next opponent in the next round.
Big.
How much
Ask
do
a
you want to
T1
take
question.
revenge on them?
那其实，在我们采访在进行的过程当中，队伍下一场的队伍们也开始进行准备了，其中就有
BLG
2个选手
T1
现在身后正在准备热身的
yeah.
T1，也是你们有可能在
That
下
would
一
be
轮
cool.
面对到的对手。所以说，能不能和我们分享一下，如果要面对到他们的话，你们想要面对他们复仇的心有多么的强烈呢？对于下一场可能进行的对决有什么样的
Was
想
that
法？
really Law's question? It was like a fucking 2
我
minute.
觉得比赛就是感觉都有可能赢嘛，然后我觉得 T1 获胜概率会更大一点。然后因为我们和 T1 交手其实挺多次了，然后就希望能够，就因为我们在上一次世界赛决赛的时候输给他们嘛，然后这次在 MSI 就希望能够成功复仇，然后去，如果下一场面对他们的话，就是好好去准备，然后去做好我们自己的吧。
Anything can happen here on the stage for the next game, but definitely
Best
T1
bot.
maybe got a higher potential to get the victory for next best of 5.
You should find
But
out
if
the
we got a
OSI
chance to
layer,
face
'cause the
off
problem
against
is set up
T1 because
Wireshark to
we're
see.
kind of the old rivals playing against of each other for so many times. And this time, if we got
Wireshark.
opportunity, we really
I'm gonna
have a very
write
strong
down
feeling to take the
Wireshark.
revenge on him. And hopefully, we can just show guys a very exciting best of 5s, and we're going to just try our
Cool.
best.
Let's see if we will have this matchup then. Xie, thank you so much for the interview. Wendy,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you
for the
so much
recommendation. So
the translation, as
Wireshark,
always.
will it tell
That's
me
all
what's
for
happening?
us here.
Do you just
On
leave it
this
running all
side
the
of
time?
stage, we'll be right
Yo,
back
Nomad,
for the second series right
logs your
after this.
entire network to a file. Oh, that's good. Cool. I'm gonna install that now, chat, so that if it happens again, I've got it. Is there a reason you can cast LEC, not LCK, that's closer to home? Why do I? Bro, it's like anything. Availabilities, right? What do you mean final? It's like anything. You know, like there was an opportunity in LEC and I took it. You know, I worked hard to get to a major region outside. Like LPL, obviously, I was lucky to get out when I did because I didn't know the broadcast was going to delete itself.
In the element.
Holy. Carrier, total unique. Is this historically?
The first game, Raz.
All right, chat. But yeah, it was just what's available at the time, and obviously moving to Europe was like, you know, it's been difficult. Like Germany is not an easy country to immigrate to because there's a pet Krug.
Lord of Krugs. Dude, that unlocked him. So
It's a rock. It's a pet rock.
They've done a little swapperoo where in split one, Rest actually I was the one that requested this.
So looking at this Venn
Dry desert.
New team.
Okay, let's go. T1 CFO. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Let's see if T1 are on.
As well. What will they bring?
You're applying for the Chronicler role. I'm not applying for the Chronicler role. I'm not a color caster. I'm a play-by-play.
Teams are going to be on uneven footing, but
Dracos Chronicler.
Here, every time
Let's go.
Faker's face appears on camera, the crowd goes wild.
Oh yeah.
Open Wireshark.
Favorites in every town they play in. Of course, we are now entering.
Give me Wireshark.
Powered by Omen and HyperX. Varus taken away alongside the Gwen. Now Talia
Select components to install.
taken away too, limiting
I'm just gonna do the
Honkyu's
normal.
champion pool specifically.
And Faker has, contrary to many of his
Is there anything, is there anything in here I should be installing as external capture tools?
But if you go back to 24 to 23, he was
or just
contesting
the ones
at
that's
the
got
very
clipped?
least for, you know, top 2 mid, obviously Chovy, domestically reigned supreme.
Berlin
but
not easy to
Faker
integrate too,
was
certified
having very
yapper.
consistent performance.
I mean,
this
look,
spring,
Berlin's
wasn't really
hard
about
because
him.
it's
Owner
just-
in the regular split,
Guys,
and then
it's just
Doran and
different.
Carrier towards the end. that I think
What
really
did you ask? Just
turned
getting
it
something
on as
kitchen.
the Xayah
Wire
also gonna
Shark.
get
Do I
taken
need
away.
anything external?
The Vi, I feel like kind of a must take
Do I just
away.
install the basic components? Is that
This
it?
champion T1 is always going to do exceptional and also gives
Do I need to
Junja
care about any of the
tools
Android
to
dump,
start fights
Rand,
his own bidding,
PKT
and
dump,
he has been the
the
player
Shush
that,
dump,
as we
the SSH
will be talking about
dump,
the rest of the day as well, has
the
been the
Upa
beating
dump, the
heart of this roster.
Ud
Definitely
pump,
has.
the
You
Ud
brought up
dump.
Owner and Carrier for the side
By the way,
of T1 right in playoffs.
I'm in draft.
Really, the entire team ramping up, but those are the two that stood out to us, and it's the same story for CFO.
Oy,
We
oy,
know
oy, oy,
Junja
oy, oy.
is the king of this
So,
region, right?
they gave away
6
Pantheon
titles,
jungle.
This man, an absolute monster.
Owner has Vi, though.
They have those tools to get fights kicked off.
Wait, they can just go
There's
Vi
nothing you
Ari
can do
for
to stop
Faker.
them, and you see already they've got one of those tools in their hands in the
Ooh,
form of the Pantheon.
Vi
Giving
Tiba.
up priority mid
Basic
laner
is fine,
to
just
Faker,
a
so now
home
the Zin
network.
and the
Okay.
Annie.
An
Really
entire
solid
factory.
setup.
Okay.
Owner, exceptional Zin player, will lock it in here. And with those bans, T1, I think, also leaning into that, making sure that Faker will have a relatively comfortable matchup, even in case of something like that
Big.
Victor, as it does come through.
They went Xin Zhao instead of
the
Vi.
early game.
I'm
Victor
curious
at least
about
has to
T1's
respect, I think,
draft
Xylan's are like
read.
2 free items that you really start getting into trouble with the range disadvantage.
And it's interesting already, we talked about weathering the storm of the early game, right? How do you go up against Carry and Owner? How do you go up against this T1 roster who is so willing to fight you for everything? Sometimes against their own best interests, right? We've seen great moments, we've seen some sloppy moments. And the answer from CFO seems to be, we're going to scale. They are set up for a beautiful front-to-back composition.
Faker.
Yes, Pantheon could do a lot of work in the early
Let's
game.
go.
When you see
Doran
Sion,
on
when you see
Aatrox.
Victor,
How do I feel about
we're
that? Well, it's a
jinx
free
away
matchup
from
for
a
his Sion.
2018 team composition.
So, for him
Definitely
into
be
Sion,
wondering
rather.
If CFO is going to be able to deal with the mid-game barrage
No one will
that
ever
T1
play that
really
dog
throws
shit champ.
every team's way. Final series that they fought against Hawalak, the final
Victor
game
can't
was
clear
basically
waves till
over
20
in 10
minutes.
A single dive towards
This will be a
top side
hard
was all
game
it
for
took.
Victor to play true.
And CFO, as mentioned,
He's just gonna
even
get
though
dove on
they,
repeat.
In a lot of the games in their finals against GAM, were able
Nautilus
to
angle would be good here for
get to the
T1.
point
They're probably
where,
going to ban.
especially with draft like this, they should be fine. Sometimes the Baron call's not quite there.
It's a
Play the
circus. Why is there a
decision-making
Krusty the
against
Clown?
T1, who are notorious for really grabbing Barons that probably don't belong to them. Going to be a risk, as we do see the Rel taken away, obviously. No supports picked up yet.
What are your
We see
expectations?
some
3-0
really weird
T1.
flexes.
I feel very confident in 3-0.
I am fairly certain that T1 is going to be looking the counter.
Even if T1 look a bit shaky game one, I think, bro,
as was highlighted by the desk.
I think Guma's going to clear Doggo.
Seems nearly infinite.
I mean, I think
Question
every
is,
lane's going to be a
he
gap.
played
I don't know
first,
about
but
Dorat,
hasn't
but
played it
like,
yet, more
bro.
often than not. But
The
see,
drawings are
if that
cool,
has
yeah.
gotten them into trouble
CFO
once or
3-0
twice,
incoming.
right?
Yeah,
Do they
bro,
wanna
for
go
sure
full
that's
steam
going to
ahead in
happen.
Early game,
Yeah.
go for something like the
Kalista.
Elise, or maybe a more conventional option.
You can just pick Ezreal on 4 here for T1.
Clear.
They get rid of Lucian Nami, just pick Ezreal.
Loves T1,
Ezreal versus
no
Pantheon
surprise.
Sion.
Legendary
Victor.
organization for
Bro,
CFO.
that's legendary. Do you think they lack enough DPS though? They lack DPS if they do that?
Win. It's only game 1. It's a bit of a scaling draft on their side. T1.
T1's debut into the tournament. What do we got? Boring bot, I think.
Jhin?
Yeah, what's the blind here? Jhin seems
Ezreal?
solid with the setup that they have, but you need someone who's going to get through that Sion in later stages of the game.
Yeah, I guess Ezreal will struggle with that.
Would be a Guma comp. They're gonna
Kalista, they're going to
instead
leave
save
counter for 80 carry.
the counter pick for Guma. They're going to pick Nico, so by that
Nico
also
carrier,
making
more
a
AP
possible
damage.
Renata, which I think is one of the few non-engaged supports that Cowans play. A little
Guria,
bit harder
what
to
the hell is
actually
that
pull off.
sign?
Sorry, there's a Krug sign. It's a very well
What do you mean ad break ends?
Krug Lord,
Oh
you
my
know?
god, the new stream fucked
It's
it.
stuck.
Chat, ads are a bit fucked.
Look, you get the good with the bad.
I'm
with
sorry,
the,
ads are a
you
bit
know,
fucked. Ads
get
are a
the
bit fucked.
Krugs.
I'll fix it.
It's just
I'll fix it
the
going
We
into
watched
game.
that today, right? He died to Krugs and then popped off immediately afterwards. So perhaps it's the source of his power. Is
There's the Ezreal.
Safe pick, right? You're in the position where you're forced.
And
to
they probably
blind
go
pick. You
Naught.
do get those
Rakan.
your counter
Rakan
pick
maybe
support,
is
but
okay.
again, one of the downsides of Kai Wing is we haven't seen that depth of his
Rakan
champion
probably
pool,
rounds
so
it out. Nautilus probably rounds it
you
out a bit
having
better.
counterpick
Brom
isn't
is
as big of a
disengaged.
deal.
They don't really
Probably
have
going to
hard
default to
engaged though.
more comfortable options.
They have Sion.
Brom, again, good in the front to back, but
I don't like
that
CFO's.
Bard would be a bit bolder.
Bard would be
I'd rather
bolder
see
better.
something like that. I think playing the Brom into
Bard
the
on
Nico
game
is
1 for
already rough.
CFO.
I also think you need some semblance of
Leona,
pressure.
that's
Leona
better.
also
That's
very
better.
obviously does that
Bro,
job.
Brom would have been
As the
trash.
Kaisa,
for
it
Guma.
makes sense in the draft.
Kaisa
but
Corki.
Corki, I think a little bit more
Yeah,
aggression
Corki
in the
makes a little
lane
bit more
was
sense.
something that T1 has generally
Color
relied
cast,
on.
analyze what happened, play by play, narrate the game.
Here.
What is a color caster? Good question, full
They
stop.
flick back and forth between
I'm the
both
yapper.
options. The Kaisers we
Analysts
get later
are
in
the
game
color
very good
casters.
at locking down
They
and keeping
smart
up with
people.
that Ezreal. But the
Normally
Corki's much
ex-pro
more powerful
players,
early
people
on.
that really study hard.
Will make the most sense
Me,
for T1,
I
and they're
just
going to go
yap and
towards that.
bullshit.
So The CFO drop.
Chat, I'd normally
If you
run
move
ads
into
here,
the
but
rift
I'm going to
on
click
2
this. Where's my
items,
surf shark? Where's the
absolutely
shark? What's it
slaps.
called? Shark.
Incredible. And there
Is that a game mode? Did I miss
well,
that?
Shark vacuum.
maybe.
What's it
Not in this
called?
game though, because when you
Wire.
look at the pieces, the front to back later on is absolutely
Can I open this?
insane. You have a great amount of CC.
Am I gonna
spread
leak
damage
IP?
profile, a lot of really, really big threats. The problem obviously is when you look
No,
at
I
the 2v2,
didn't. Thank God it
Anfi and
doesn't leak it.
Victor, compared to something like that Annie and Xin Zhao, contesting early objectives is going to be really hard. And the reason why I go in so hard on it
Holy
is
fuck,
because
I clicked on
T1
it.
absolutely is not going to give you the time to skill. So you're going to have to fight early. There are
Don't
some
show it
pressure points,
active.
right?
Got it.
Junja,
I've
maybe
activated
get
it.
with
I don't know
Kaiwing,
what's going on.
can get it going early.
Ethernet
but
live
they will need
capture
to,
in
because
progress.
T1 is going to
Now
take
do
the
I
fight
just
to them.
leave it?
Yeah, that
All
early
this
game, you
coding.
brought up Weathering the Storm, the story
Holy.
for CFO. We know they can play the map pretty well as we get in the later stages of the game, and they certainly have the tools put together in picks and bans, but a tall task. However, the key ingredient we talked about.
So what do I do with this? No, do I just leave it? I've clicked on Ethernet because I think that's the issue, right? I've clicked on
You
Ethernet
can't free up that Leona to roam.
and I've left it. That's the one to click on, isn't it?
So eyes on
I'm
both
in
sides
Berlin.
to see
Caught.
who's going to be in form on the day.
Yeah, just leave it. Okay.
What level 1 strategies they
And now
need to
if
bring
it
to bear.
cooks, I'll know. And then does it save as like
There is a
files? Do I?
sign involved.
I'm
gonna be
so
looking
fucking
at
noob
level
at
one,
this.
Dracos.
You know, people
That
say to me
makes
like
noise.
adult,
Vancouver more than
like not
happy to
adults,
oblige. We get ready
older
for
people
game
say,
one,
"Oh, you're so
CFO.
good at like PCs and stuff," and I'm
First
like, "Bro,
T1,
I know
the
nothing
last
about
of our
PCs."
first round matches.
Send me gem cats.
Perhaps a date with Destiny.
Chat, the
For
ads are
T1
cooked.
as BLG stand
I'm
waiting.
sorry. We're just gonna deal with it. We're just gonna deal with it.
First,
After
they're
this
gonna have
game,
to go
I'll
through
queue it up again.
CFO.
It will log in the window until you die.
it's
It
a
will just
quiet
log it
T1.
in the window. Okay.
Again, in
Fair
some
enough.
of these matchups, we're seeing teams who've already
I send
gone
cat
through
jams.
plans,
No,
got the
jam
jitters
cats are
out,
good.
Maybe less
I like
afraid
jam
to
cats.
go
Chat,
all in
I
in the
dropped the
first
jar
few
of jam the other day.
seconds of a game, but
Australian casual, I can't, bro.
CFO
I'm
and
fucking
T1, first look we're
not
gonna have for them.
even. I don't even have
And then
glasses.
It looks like maybe
You know
a little
he's
bit for
taller
vision
than me.
here. So we do have Driver
I
making
have a
his way
picture of me
over,
in
but
casual, and he's taller than me,
don't really
unfortunately.
have that much Fred.
We got it in Korea,
There was a brawl involved
2023.
maybe as a, yeah. We got to bring it up again.
First,
insane.
Junja is insane, bro.
This is
This guy, since leaving
there's no
EDG,
one better in
insane.
the entirety of LCP than
Is
Junja.
Annie
this
taller
is
than
a
you?
world-class jungler, no
Nah,
doubt
not
in my
quite.
mind. And normally when you go up against T1,
Only just
you see
taller
Owner
than him.
on the opposite side, you start to sweat. But I think CFO
5'6" taller than you.
still question as to who will
Would you
come out on
believe
top.
me
You feel a
if I
lot
told you
better
that he's
knowing
6'1"?
that Junja is the one holding down your early game. He's the man that you have backing you up.
And taking a look at the rune setup, Faker usually on the Annie, we
No.
very often see the electrocute, going to be the phase rush instead. So a little bit more
I'm
potential
5'11",
getting out of
chat.
some sticky
I'm 5'11".
situations. Hongq going for Aerie, so as we saw already there, trying to just play
1
for as
inch
much lane
6.
pressure as possible. I think
Okay.
the first couple of levels for Victor
enough.
are honestly great. Into
All right,
the
T1,
Annie,
let's
it's
see how
really
they go.
post-6 where you need to
T1
be a lot
finally in the
careful.
tournament.
Already, as we were expecting, a lot of
Will they
fighting
do
here
another
for
miracle
early
climb
round of the
again?
bowling.
I
He's in
swear to
play,
God, if
but
this team is in finals, which, to be fair, I expect them
Too
to.
much. Again, range
It'd be
advantage,
crazy.
the biggest thing here at level 1.
Dude, I hate turning into Annie just so you get the auto attack range.
For fast level 2, Faker stuns back and keeping the phase rush procced, also just to make the gravity field less of a concern.
Annie,
They're playing with a
Tiba.
lot of confidence.
Good trades. And you really
I hope
want to try and
it's
do
not
as
a
much as
stomp. I
possible.
do hope
I
this
think
series is not a
Victor,
stomp. It would make it
when it comes to
interesting.
his one spike,
CFO
isn't
are a
quite
team
hit
that I
as
think can
hard,
do really
especially if
well.
it's going to be that Rod of
It
Ages
just
build.
depends on
Whereas
jungle.
Annie
Jungle's everything for the
particularly
team,
certainly
right?
makes it over as a possible bot
Oh no,
lane gank.
Junja's playstyle.
Junja on the
Junja's
way
just in.
down. Kuma, the stun,
Oh.
immediate CC on the
Oh,
counter. They know he's
first
not the one
blood.
with cleanse. Easy
Yo.
first pickup for the side of CFO.
Stop being a
The
CFO
heal
doubter.
from
Sorry,
Carrier
bro.
gets invested initially to
Oh,
dodge away from Highwing, but as you highlight,
Junja. Oh.
I
Chat's
mean,
GG.
finishes
Game 1
his first
CFO.
clear, already making an impact as he's
Doran.
able to, as you highlight.
Could you imagine
go
if
for the target
Doran is
that
the one
doesn't
that
have a way
pops off
out.
this
Kuma,
tournament?
even though
I
he
could
was
never.
level 2, if he
I
ends up
could
being
never.
into free,
Dude,
gets the Valkyrie,
Doran at
that could make a big
internationals,
problem.
no
Has the
way.
cleanse as
Even
well, the
domestically,
carrier,
he wasn't that good this
no
split,
way
right?
out of the
Wasn't he like the
CC for
weakness?
him. Doran on the Aatrox, as you would expect, is going to be feeling great here into the Cyan up until the first back, and then Cyan is going to shrug off a lot until you really get enough ability haste
Fake is low.
to
Q.
continuously choose
Got enough
that
mana for a
ginormous
flash play?
shield
What do you got?
That is going to be there for Driver.
You're a victor.
Soul Furnace, a very, very powerful.
I'll let you know
ability.
Doran
Yeah.
got killed by wolves in
I'd be
solo queue
curious
not
to
too
see
long
what
ago.
Driver's able to do with the Scion. There was
Don't
a fun
even- don't
interview
make me
with
laugh,
Java
Fred,
where he
don't make me
talked
laugh.
about some inspiration from the boss coming out for Driver. So maybe if he manages to find a lead, we see some proxying. But first, he's going to have to find that lead, or at the very least, be able to crash that wave.
Yeah, but
this
he's
matchup
going.
isn't fun.
He's gone grasp. Look, if you went phase rush,
Driver, as long as he can get his
then we
creeps,
start talking about the
actually get
bounce.
taken down, he's not going to be too bothered. As owner,
Everyone's coming in
there's
tournament looking
Zinzo, maybe
shaky.
looking for a player towards the bot side. There
Not,
are still subs available, so looks
I
like
mean,
instead
Gen G one game.
go for the base, not wanting to flip too much. And
I wouldn't say
Ezreal,
Gen G looked that
notoriously
shaky.
Not the easiest, and
Would you?
was Leona to dive.
Opting to back out, but he does drop.
Bro, is that a
double wards.
sauna? Is that a
So
hot
vision
tub?
on red, vision on the Raptors.
That's a hot tub. I just realized they're hot
We'll
tubs.
spot out Junja starting.
That's
that
where the
camp.
towel skins are coming from.
Here, Nonkey
I
just
get it.
continue to
I get
trade.
it. That's where the towels are coming from. Okay.
And honestly,
My
very
nose can
quiet
stop being
game.
itchy. That'd be good.
Leisurely start.
Oh, he missed W.
Kind of as expected, I would say, in terms of some of the champions that we have.
It's post 6, right? That I think we're really going to see once the first objective
did
start.
no damage.
There isn't something like the Elise in the Fury where you're really going to be looking to just dive on
Oh, got him.
one of the first couple of
Driver
waves.
leveled up though.
And credit to Doran, he is not letting Driver charge
Holy.
a single
Yo,
decimating
it's gonna be
smash.
Doran's tournament.
Always staying in range, willing to tank a
Did you
little bit
even
extra
play
damage
Harvest
just to
Moon
cancel
as
the
a kid?
knockup.
I don't know.
Keep that
It's
wave
Spirit
forward.
Blossoms.
Oh,
The
here
fuck
goes
is Harvest
spot
Moon?
Junja.
That Final Fantasy?
Two goons.
Harvest Moon.
Only
So
one of them
aptly
has
named.
cracked a difficult puzzle.
Isn't that what Xin Zhao
They're
says?
now ready to make the dive happen.
Speaking
Topside
of.
have to respect the
He
zombie
stacked
passive
Q.
from Sion, but Driver in a tough spot here.
Clean.
Lightning, a quick flash out, extra
Doran
shielding, and Doran forced
is
to flash
tanking
away.
it.
Owner should just finish the job, but now
Owner's
the tower's
out.
hitting him. He has to flash as
Okay.
well. T1.
Okay,
Grab the
okay,
kill.
okay. Own it with a
Maybe
kill.
Not the cleanest execution.
Not the cleanest, but it'll
We'll be
do.
able to get it. Having to invest a second
TP
flash
from
obviously
Driver.
feels rough. Really good
That's okay.
timing for Driver on the
The
shield.
Harvest
was
Moon
the
so
main thing that
aptly
kept him
named.
alive
Oh,
for a little bit
I thought it
longer.
was
Starts
Xin Zhao.
great. Owner primes his
You are
Q,
old.
gets the auto.
Well, number- I don't-
Doran
I
sets
don't-
him up
I don't-
with the Q1, but if Doran had backed, I think that is just a very clean dive, but hadn't actually spent any money yet.
If
so not
if Doran shows
enough indeed
Mirwin,
to chew
then
for the
that's
sign
off.
that
That's
quickly.
surely that's wrong.
Still though, early lead
know?
for T1. Not going to be the end
Chat,
of the world.
why
Sign
is
of
the
all
nose?
champions obviously will be
Why is it
fine,
so itchy?
regardless of him getting put behind a little bit early.
Yeah, still has 170 extra
'cause
health.
we have a
You can
dog
see
and I'm
on the
allergic.
screen, and TP's used to reset lane
I think it's
matchups
quiet.
here, so or they swap.
I think 'cause
as
of the
now
dog.
Driver in the bottom side of the map. Doran going to
And I'm
respond
not washing my hands
as
after
well.
I'm patting the dog.
And now the
Nice.
Bramble Vest is there. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's a extremely strong item.
Derek's
It's
not in
Aatrox, very
Canada?
fun.
No, I'm
Can't
not.
believe you did that.
I'm not in Canada.
Building
Semantics,
armor.
ask me, pup. I'm here.
Look, man, we talked.
No,
about
I didn't get asked.
We're waiting
Me,
for someone
Atlas,
to build
and Dagda
Serpent's
did
Fin.
not
We
get
love the
asked.
item.
I'm trying to think
It's
if there's
probably
anyone
not
else.
this game.
And
I
obviously
don't
other
think the
LCK
Sion shows
casters and
enough.
stuff. It's unfortunate, chat, but it is what it
I'm
is. You
saying
know?
there's an angle.
Smaller
For
tournament.
now, though,
Back-to-back
Doran
days.
a little bit
They
more
got their
respect, of
people.
course. The World Ender,
Worlds.
super
That's what we
powerful,
go
but
for.
potential
Worlds.
for gank setup with Junja, if he is lurking in the darkness with Sion level 6, is lethal.
And what we do have is a good amount of vision being set up here in
It's
the
sad,
jungle
bro,
of
but
T1.
you know it is.
What
It
I
is what it
imagine
is.
later
Let's
on
get a
will be
blurry minimap going.
Heavy contest on that from CFO. Does mean that while Junja goes for that invade, T1 is able to get the first dragon of the gamer. I don't really think there is too much counterplay.
Maybe there is.
Driver will
Maybe
be making his
after
way over
Driver.
and-
No, they want to fight this. They want to fight
Junja has
this.
ults. They might want to try and
Ulting
steal.
in, Owner on the way forward,
Owner's dead.
but now manages to take it down. So
Nice,
it's gonna cost
nice
us,
after the
they
play.
get the Drake,
They might
but
get
now it's
more.
all in from the side of CFO. Perfect
Faker
ready to go.
can't
They're
move.
gonna grab another one on top of it.
Faker
taken
missed
down,
his
drops the
ulti.
bear. But in the
What?
blink of an eye, it goes from passive
Bro,
to
that was
insane
clean from
aggression
CFO.
the side
Really
of
clean.
CFO.
Fighting after the objective,
And T1,
Driver's ulti was
usually
beautiful.
the one doling out the aggression, but CFO with a great rotation, catching
Holy
him off guard.
Muga.
Blowing up Owner, doesn't have his ultimate
Lila.
available. That means that there is no way for him to stall out this play, and you can see, I don't think they were really expecting to go this crazy.
Dude,
Driver
the-
goes in, gets
If there was
the
no
knockup.
smite, he
Not a
might
lot of
lose that as
counterplay
well.
available there. And just giving up Owner for Dragon,
Oh my
not that
god.
rough.
Bro,
But the
look at
fact that
Faker's ult.
Faker ends up dying as well. It's a really big win here early on, because any early kills that you
Oh,
can get
Faker's
for
like,
CFO bring you closer
whatever.
to that promised
Okay,
item breakthrough
T1,
that we talked about earlier.
bit-
when you're
game one, bit
really starting
shaky.
to see the power of this Sion, this
Bit
Victor,
shaky.
as well as this
Do you think
Ezreal.
Faker would be
Puma
nervous?
taking a
Don't you
decent
think for
chunk here
Faker this
without
just be like
Sheik
domestic
completed
play
his
for him?
mount. Doran doing what he can to zone Driver away. Willing to proxy
But
himself
like
if
for Faker,
necessary.
bro, this is probably like whatever.
I mean, look, fire with fire.
CFO
as it was.
equals
And I think for
crushing
T1, you
frauds.
highlighted it so well, right? If they get that Drake, if they're closer to soul stacking, it puts them in a comfortable position as
He
we go
places
later
ult
into
on
this
himself
game,
and you
but
can't do it.
Draco,
those
So it
few kills
avoids
is
Annie's
rough.
hitbox.
I like Bramble Vest.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
don't know
that.
if you need to.
I was wondering where he ulted down. I'm like, why did he ult down?
But
More you
is
know, huh?
better, right? That's
Generally,
pretty universal.
when it comes to kills,
He puts
yes.
too much pressure,
When
never-
it comes to flashes
yeah,
blown,
true,
his,
actually.
Q does get his blown there by the timely arrival.
That
Even
dude?
despite
I feel like Faker's retirement one day will be a crash and burn. It will not be a graceful I'm leaving. It'll be like a Faker cannot play anymore.
I'm gonna check.
CFO, the only ones first stand to make it.
You just yap
Make it here. That means they're the chosen one.
Because either I have missed
Oh,
a
really?
very
True.
elaborate math Reddit thread.
No,
Yeah, actually, Casey didn't make it.
looks like
Come
a
Alive
solid
didn't make
pick up the
it.
chain vest.
He
Top
didn't-
Esports
he
didn't
think
make
he had
it.
that much gold.
What's the
early
other
game.
team?
Well,
Who am I
it might
missing?
also just be you want to get Bramble against Aatrox, right? Sometimes it's just muscle
TL?
memory.
Was it TL at first stand?
Will be pivoting away.
What do you think of this HUD?
Something to keep in mind.
People have
if
been
we do
asking me
have some
throughout the
very
whole
specific
streams that we've
breakpoints
been
down
doing.
the line.
Every
Thus
MSI
far, though,
stream.
really impressed with the early game.
I think it's
CFO
grown on
have
me a
been
little bit,
able
but the problem is that
to
they remove
show
the
for
HUD
as
so
good
often
as
I
they were.
can't
think we
see
saw this even
items.
in the final game that they played.
And then I can't
of
see.
their
I can see
playoffs
summoner spells in the new
against Gam, where
attacking.
they
Like when they do fights,
really
they
mostly
change
run,
it so you
just
can see
slowing the
ultis
game
and
down,
stuff, which
so
is good.
seeing them
But
take
I don't
control
have
early
damage
definitely
there,
feels good,
and I
but there is
also
a
like
lot more
they take away
skirmishing to
items
be
too
done,
much.
and T1 on
And
that
I don't like that when they do that
not
in normal
sleeping.
HUD anyway.
Sidewind also
CFO
has to be
can-
careful. He's just
Yeah.
gonna
But-
jet out of the river there.
It's fine. Faker needs to catch the wave.
I mean, look,
Work out fine.
it's grown on me
Doggo
because
goes
as a
fast.
caster,
Quick
everything I
flower.
need is down there.
Try
It's
to
just
get
a
the
bit
pressure
too
here in the
busy.
bottom
Sometimes it
lane. Earlier we
overwhelms
saw
me.
on
It
our
really
screen,
does
Driver
overwhelm
not
me.
quite able to cancel any of those recalls, and the ulti coming out from Doggo wasn't able to do it.
The
either.
bounty
Very
numbers and
close, though,
stacks
putting
are
T1 in a
terrible.
difficult
True.
position in terms of resets and tempo on the map.
The problem is this HUD is just not in 1080p.
Now, however,
This HUD, if you zoom in, is in
1K
like
difference.
480p.
Not the end of the world for the comp that we, generally look at as scaling better.
Guys,
Certainly
I'm
feels
in
like a strong
440p on
early boon.
YouTube.
Dorn, though, holding on to his individual advantage at the very
Nothing.
least.
It's not high
He's a player
definition.
that we have our eyes on.
Yeah.
Freddie,
Always
it's
going
not
to-
high definition. If you
as
zoom in
mentioned,
on that, it's not in
Doran has
HD.
Been consistently
It's just
one
not
of the
in
top-
good quality.
top laners
It's
within the
and
LCK
the minimap zoom is
since,
scuffed as well. And I keep thinking
he
it's me,
joined
but
Gen G.
and it
Unfortunately,
happens on
has
Twitch.
also
For
been
those that
met
are watching
with equal
live,
level
is it
of
happening
troubles
on
when it
Twitch
comes
as
to the
well?
international performance. Do want to highlight with that early kill, Honky, by the way, already starting on that Rod of Ages. I do think
Is it scuffed on Twitch?
where the
Oh
Victor
my
goes
God.
next is going to be a really big factor as to whether he's actually going to be doing damage. We've seen a lot of
Like,
Victors go for builds that
It must be.
feel
They
like
must be
a little
doing
bit
because
too
it's better.
late.
Oh,
Quick heal out.
The ult.
Pantheon
On the
ult.
way down.
Bit of an overcommittal.
Good value, though. The heal for that ulti, for double ultis, does give T1 a window of opportunity to fire back.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty happy with that as T1 because Drake spawns in a minute.
True.
That's going to give you possible angle. At the very least, it means that
Doran is shredding
Ginger
top.
won't be able to
Not
join.
that much of a lead. Driver's
Get that
okay.
flank access quite
That's
as easy
TP.
as, oh boy.
Junja locked
Ginger
up, burst
caught.
damage ready to go.
He has no
Aegis is
ulti
off,
to
but
do
Faker
anything.
waits it out before throwing
Faker
down
just
his cooldowns.
walks
It might cost
past.
him, though. Honku, ulti there, but Faker zooming out.
Oh
so
my
you can
God,
see the
carrier.
phase rush. Junja still living for an
Okay.
extra moment. Nice flash over the wall.
Maybe
Owner
Owner
ready to follow,
overcommitted.
as is Kai Wing. Going
No,
in for
he
2v2.
missed W.
Owner a little bit tankier. Carrier
Okay,
ready
Faker
to
has the
follow up.
flash
Jungle
out.
supports on
Oh,
both sides.
T1.
Still standing.
What are we
Q1.
doing?
It's not quite enough damage.
Okay, Carrier's gonna die.
Over the wall.
And
Ready to finish
T1,
it, which
Goom
carry is
almost
real.
died.
The flash one is the right choice as Guma's lower and lower.
Doggo
Finds
wants to
that
wait for the
multiple fronts.
wave.
T1 losing so many
And he wants to
kills.
EQ.
And
Does he?
CFO, I think not
Too
going to be
late.
too sad about that. T1 trying to be tricky.
What a T1
but looking a
doing?
bit sloppy on the re-engage. I felt like they had an exit after they got the summoner out of
Nah,
Junja,
first,
but wanted to
the
go
first
for
stand
more.
one is bum.
Zoning Faker
First
out,
stand
time
HUD
to
was
reset.
not
Gonna
good
slow
at
him down
all.
that much more. Faker does have
This
TP,
HUD
but
is
may be
better, but
forced
look,
to use
look,
it to
they
return to
leave
lane.
this up
Dorn
for
in the
too
meantime,
long.
though, is the one
I hate
who
this.
is paying
Stop
off,
it.
getting those extra
They
plays.
don't change
As
it
we've
back
taken
to
a look,
items,
this
and
initial
before fights they
setup play is
change it
great,
for like a
right?
minute.
Able to do a lot
That
of
like
damage
full
towards
items
Junja,
get picked
trying
up
to
and you
catch him
have
off
no
guard.
idea what people are
Makes
rocking.
a lot of sense. But what happens next is Junja gets over the wall. Carrier
That's why they call me
basically
Puppy
whiffs it
when I come
because
with
of
the hammer.
flash. And then the immediate response from
Yeah,
Kai
cool one,
Wing.
bro.
Owner doesn't actually connect the W.
Owner
damage
does
onto Junja.
not do a lot here.
And then when he goes back in,
Owner.
while that was happening, Honku took Faker effectively out of the
Carrier
fight.
got shut
Faker's
down,
not able
Honku
to
got
draw
Owner.
out the end. You're missing so much damage. And while all of that was happening, Doran also
Owner,
made his
come
way
on, man.
over
Come on.
with the TP, which was what allowed
Yeah, T1
Driver in
fans.
top lane to get a ton of
Dude.
damage on that turret.
And what a reaction, honestly.
Oh, that
honestly
guy.
fair. Junja, well played fight though, right? Gets
It's up too
Carrier's
long.
ulti
Yep.
before
It's
flashing
still
over
up.
The wall. Really what keeps that so close.
Where are items?
As Driver now matched up against
Guys,
Faker.
where
We'll
are
see
items?
Where they want to send Honku. Side lane
Hello.
versus Zeus or excuse me, Doran. Wow.
I
big
think there's
profile
too
there.
much tech in
Doran,
it.
as
It's
they keep
too
this going, is going to be
complicated.
tough.
It obviously takes a while to get the HUD
Doran
up. And
Sitting
it,
on
like
the Sun of Sky
it's
right now has his Merc Treads done as well.
because it has an animation to do it, so they have to prepare it.
Still fine when it comes to the item finishes. I think that time alone towards the top side, even the Doran got.
It's not noob friendly.
Played some damage done towards the.
And look at where runes are. Runes are so small. If you're on a phone, it's impossible to see.
We see the pings come down, but I don't think.
So I don't know. It's meant to be like TikTok friendly, right?
Ultimate available.
But bro, do they even get any views on TikTok?
It's a bit of a desperate game, but World Ender now coming out, massive damage, but Doran lives for an extra second.
He's still dead. Oh my god! Oh my god, Aatrox! Oh, and the miss from Honkyu. Sundered Sky passive. 100% now, chat. 100%.
somehow lives through that.
Yo, give me the Doran emote now. Send it to me now.
Patience.
He deserves it now.
The gusto to dive forward. The Sundered Skyprox.
Driver's caught.
His driver's
Oh,
now
let's
caught
not
out.
get
Should be no way
macroed
out of
by
this one.
T1, yeah?
Masan is damn
That's
tanky.
Flash.
Flash away. Kaiwing there to cover.
And he
But
gets
this is
solo
a
top.
disastrous sequence for
Power
CFO,
plates
and
fall
almost
off.
1,000 gold lead starting
CFO,
to shrink now.
come on,
As
bro.
the counterpunch is Faker, pushing for free on the top side, nearly knocking
Send me
down that tier
Dorat.
1 tower.
Yo, anyone in the chat, send it to me. It shall be done.
And the early game.
Aatrox
back and
healing
forth
getting
here.
buffed. Who
That
can
play,
imagine? Who
obviously
can
T1
imagine
gonna be happy with.
buffing
They got the
20%
flash.
of Aatrox
Faker will be
healing
getting
would
the
end like
turret
that?
here. But do know Doran did mess
Me,
up on a
I
good
said-
amount
I
of
said.
CS because even with the
I
counter
actually
kill that he
said
got,
this
the
before.
healing
I was actually
from that
correct.
kill was still ticking, obviously allowing him to stay alive. Honky was able to then immediately push onto the turret, letting some CS go to waste. As we're taking out a look,
Look at
so
this. Look.
T1 I think was very aware that this was happening. First Doran tries to clear the wave.
CC
not
layering
actually
is good,
able
but he
to
gets
do
that
so.
second Q through, so
The
a
flash
little bit of
means that
healing.
There isn't enough damage.
And then
right
boom.
there, the heal from Sundered Sky, as well as the fact that right afterwards he gets
if
the
Doran-
heal from that turret aggro. Just Kaiwing,
If
unfortunately,
Doran
dropping
doesn't
the
die
two
there,
four
I'm
people
worried
there.
about the
He
rest of the
dropped
game,
it
aren't you?
earlier, And he would have died.
But I'm also, what is Sundered Sky with Aatrox healing amp? 606 health.
Is that how much he healed?
So incredibly powerful. Now Doran knocking
He
down
heals
the tower as
606
well, while the rest of the map
health.
has been a bit of a bloodbath. He's really just been holding it down on the top side. For T1,
Yeah, right, that was a good
800
idea.
individual gold lead, but it's
606
CFO
from one
who had
auto.
the setup around
Yeah, that's
Herald
fair.
first. As we went into
That's
that
fair.
replay
Half of
and are
an
so
80
far
carries health
holding
bar
onto it
in one
pretty
auto.
well.
That's fair.
Triforce spikes on both sides for both 80 carries.
Drake's 1-to-1 right
Bro,
now.
come on.
Junja starting up Herald. T1 clearly do want to contest. Sum's
All right,
available.
T1 just had a
Almost
mega
everyone,
power
not
play.
for Guma,
They
not for
destroyed
Dodo.
sides of the map. They just
All of
got
which are in this
tier 1
fight. Let's see
outer
whether
on both
Faker can get
sides.
onto the back line. And for Junja, the target
Starting
selection
up,
is gonna be bigger
Herald
for
might be
CFO.
dangerous for
CP comes
CFO.
in.
First item across the board. Plus a pickaxe for Doran. Doran has ulti again. Doggo spaced him nicely. Carrier's a bit deep. Solar flare. They need to jump on Carrier though. He's dead. Okay, Carrier mistake. T1 look
CFO
about as good as G2 right
How
now.
many teams have been caught out by a flank like that?
Two telegraphed.
T1 look about
See
as
Carrier
good
makes
too
work, like,
as
we
G2
can
right
see,
now.
we know
I'm
this is
telling
coming.
you, I
As
think that's a fair
Driver
comparison.
Forward.
Faker.
Can't quite drift it.
Thought more was going to happen.
Yeah, as did I.
Chat, why do I have to do the work in this stream?
As
Why do I have to
we-
do the work?
Probably going to take a look. That means the Herald does go over. to
Why
CFO.
must I do
So
the
this
work?
early back and
Hey,
forth
as your streamer, why must it be
still
me?
ongoing. And as highlighted, I think that does
Answer me.
benefit CFO. If they're
Liz,
able to
I
play
was
their own
just
game, if
there.
they're
I
able
was
to
just
slow
looking
down,
at it.
Even disregarding the
I was
draft,
not
right, where
chill.
I think that the T1 composition.
Where were the comms?
When we get later to the game,
Where were the
the
comms
damage
at?
will always
How
be
dare you
there, but
compare it
are
to
gonna
the
be
first
extremely
game?
reliant on just finding one
warming
target
up.
and blowing them up. And
How
let's be real,
dare
it's gonna be,
you?
Cyan,
You don't know
which
who you
very
are.
hard.
Where do
Junja
you come
with
from?
His E, as,
I was peeing. What happened?
You can see here a
T1
bit of a contrast.
are worse than G2 confirmed. That's what our chat was saying.
World's 2013 pick was 17, Honky was 6. Two different
The only reason
generations
why people
of
think
League
T1
of
will be
Legends
run up
player,
to
and
MSI
credit
is because
to
of what
Honky
the
in his first game.
HLE
He has
series
not
and nothing
faltered,
else.
He has not stumbled.
I mean,
You
yeah,
highlighted
it's
Faker,
their last
really
series is a
good
good
playoffs,
representation.
Not as good of a regular season. And in
But I
this
guess, yeah, their
Andy
regular
matchup
season was
hasn't
rubbish,
been able
wasn't
to really do a whole lot yet.
Well, we've also seen that T1 in draft was very
Bro,
clearly
was that
trying
Faker's
to
win
get
rate? Does Faker have a
Really do
tier 1 domestic record? 66% in 1,000 games. International record 71% win rate.
not as good of a regular
Bro,
season.
they've got 11 years
Any
between them.
matchup hasn't been able
Honky
to
was
really
6
do a
in
whole lot yet.
2013.
Well, we've also seen that T1 in
What?
draft was very clearly trying to get a decent match per fake, get him on the ante, which always can have an impact. But Cosmic Drive now done.
He
for
was
Honky
6.
as well, and we're starting to hit the item breakpoints.
Guys,
that I
we're
was
all
talking about.
unks. If
CFO
that guy's 6 and
almost
playing at
the second item on
MSI,
Ezreal as well,
we
good
were
transformation
all
for
unks.
Doggo. Junja should be getting close, but it's the skirmishing where they need to remain
Bro, does
vigilant.
that mean
We've seen T1 so
he was
many
4
times.
years old when League of
Just a
Legends came
single
out?
catch on a player can snowball very, very swiftly.
I'm
and with
6
Hextech
now.
Drake
Yo,
in particular,
Hjorta
the guy the team can afford to give that soul over.
Was geht ab?
Certainly can. We are pretty far away. as it's
Chat,
only
maybe I
the
should just
third
practice
Drake
my
of the
Mandarin.
game.
Maybe I
Both
should just
teams
give
tied
German
at
a
one
rest.
apiece.
Maybe I just
Gold
get back
lead
on Mandarin
slightly
and
in
just try and be
favor
good
of T1,
so that
but
at Worlds I
remember,
can speak
generally
it.
favor the scaling of CFO more, and it was a bit of a misstep around Drake.
He turned
Gave those early
18
kills
this
to
week.
CFO, and they've been in a pretty decent spot ever since then. Dorn, again,
Haha,
the strong
Twitch ban,
point of this
you're dead.
team now
Bye.
alongside Guma as the Herald is going to crash.
Good take,
Won't
remove.
quite finish the tower.
Why?
CFO just using it to get mid-prio to start this objective.
What are you doing?
But again,
Vision.
have
What do you
to
mean
be
good take
careful.
is
They don't don't
move.
have concrete information
Carrier flank.
on where Doran is, and now it's Carrier
Yo,
on
Doran
the flank.
is
CFO
raid boss. Somehow,
from
some way,
Driver.
Doran
Five
is the one to
angles.
get T1 through
Faker
this
and
game.
Guma ready to go. CFO
Driver's
where
deep.
they're gonna start
Hailstorm's
here.
good zoning.
Instant ulti laid down by Honku. Doran
But,
off
bro,
on the side
Owner's
for
just
now.
isolated.
Uncontested, but it's
Owner's
Owner
gonna
who's in
die,
trouble.
maybe.
Meantime, Kaiwin going in, the ball damage coming in from Driver.
Okay.
It's Carrier
Pop
on the
Blossom.
back line.
Oh my god, Carrier.
Man, knock up so damn patient.
Oh my
And
god,
CFO
Doran
gonna
reset.
set
Run,
back in.
CFO,
Retreating back to the other side of the
run.
wrist, but it might not be enough. Junja on the
Run.
way. Driver frontlining, trying to buy space for the rest of the team.
Oh
As
my
T1
god,
take the
Carrier.
fight.
That's it.
And though the response from Doggo on the Annie play was great, that meant no cooldowns were
Fucking
available for
children in
when
this chat, women.
Carrier went in. And T1 with
I've never seen it.
multi-pronged approach actually coming in from a lot of different angles. CFO we're mostly aware of all of them, but
Bro,
it's
you
so
know what?
hard
Add
to
your
get
whatever
kind of the
modes
front
you
to back
want.
that we
You're the
talked about. You want
landlord.
Victor behind the two tanks, but you have Doran
Look at this,
coming
bro.
in on one end.
Look at him.
Coming in from another end.
Carrier
I want you to
did-
look
did he-
at
did
the
he-
attempted
did he-
engage
did he-
here.
did he- did he-
Owner
did he-
gets
did
his
he?
ult off, which means they can't kill him.
Knock up.
And then right here, Faker goes for a big Annie play, but both Honku and Doggo flash. But then Carrier is there to ensure that the CC lands, the fight starts, and the moment the kill is found, Doran is just going to keep going.
That was throat
and
singing when I
going
did,
and
wasn't it?
going on this Aatrox. CFO have to abandon ship. Now pick up Faker.
Faker
Throat-
caught
why
out.
does throat singing
Shield of
hurt so
Daybreak.
much?
Double TP's now coming in to back up the play. It's going to be an all-out brawl on
Faker.
the top side. Faker living for an extra
He's
moment.
dead.
Driver going to find the knock, but should finish.
Faker having a bit of a
Doran is here,
stinker this
as
game,
is
isn't he?
Doran. Double Doran. As owner is here.
Double
Doran
Doran.
away.
Who's got Doran?
Guma stepping up.
Oh no.
Owner finds a nice initial bit of damage.
We're still fighting? You think we win this?
Brew going in.
I don't think we win
Doran
this.
caught out. Knock up
Oh.
down. Beautiful.
Oh,
Full channel
T1,
on the
T1,
defending
T1,
space. Now they need to
T1.
get the hell out of
Owner
here for a
ulti.
little bit extra time.
What
It's
the
not
turn?
Doggo, those the oversteps. It's all eyes on
What?
Honku.
They're
He
winning
has to make
it.
the difference.
How are they
He's got
winning
between
it?
three
This is a
members
shit
of
fight.
T1. It looked good
This is
for
cinema.
a brief
This is
moment,
shit
but
cinema.
T1 just
This is
outplaying
cinema.
in the fights.
This is Shinema,
In
the
longer
people that
skirmish,
control,
T1
you know, all the stuff.
Get the better of CFO. No dare.
You know, Sephiroth and Cloud Shinema.
Despite it. Oh, Carrier.
I don't know if he kills. He
Lock
needs
in Junja.
Owner.
Driver trying to clear the wave. Owner
Got
on
slow
the
though.
chase. One
Nice.
becomes lightning. Junja forced to flash out.
Okay.
And this
Bro,
is the thing that's so
T1
scary
won
about
that.
T1.
Why
So
did
many teams
T1
would've just
win that?
backed off after that play. He felt fine to start the Wolves, but
I have a
T1
small
still
fever,
going
so I'm going
that
for a
little
nap,
bit
bro.
extra
Take
as
care of
now they're
yourself.
set up to take this tier 1 mid.
And CFO
I don't have
actually
the
like
right
that they call the
technique.
bluff.
I think
A
my
lot of
technique
teams
is
in the LCK often
070.
start, when you see Faker inside, is this really
But it can be
an
used.
overstep, or is
070?
the
No,
rest of
it's
T1
OP.
there? And as we
That's
can
it.
see, the rest of T1 does it right, but it's
Chad, it's
a
really
little
hard to talk.
too late as
Carrier
Faker
bug
does take
abuser.
so much damage, and the double
What'd he do?
TP is available. So the initial blow of the fight, I
What'd he
think,
do?
looks great here for CFO.
You talking about
Yeah,
Celestial Blessing?
With the ultimate, obviously, Honky was still full health, but I think they should have just left.
The emote
If they
on
leave at
Nico
this
clone.
point,
Bro, that
even
that
without the
got
turret,
debugged ages.
They're
Like, they don't do
fine.
anything with that
Instead,
anymore.
they
Don't
see
worry
an
about it.
opportunity to go in
They-
on top
for some reason, we don't
Doran
care about
with
it anymore.
Owner on the Zinza. I want you to look here.
Yo,
Splits
Ellis,
up the fight,
thanks, bro, but you're
gets
walking
the
a
flash
tightrope.
knock up onto Doggo, and then with no health bars on his tanks.
Yeah, true.
Honku is
CFO
readily
wins
available for T1
MSO.
back when they get on top two.
Nah, bro, you said it.
Again, the
MSO.
story of the fight is Doggo feels like he's in this position to clean up or burns these cooldowns.
What
to
the
dodge
fuck
his
is
key ability, and then
MSO?
Someone from T1
Bro, what are they? I
is
wanna see that
always
tournament.
there to punish. Again, T1, if you don't know their story,
He's
you probably don't
29,
know
Chad.
League of Legends.
Wait, Faker's a year younger than me?
But a team that, a bit of a different road to MSI, not
Eight.
the favorites.
29,
Many
he's the
people favoring
oldest player at
HLE above
MSI.
them, but
He's
the truth of this
29.
T1 lineup, almost regardless of the players who are playing on it, is that
MSO,
when it
oh,
matters,
dude, Miso suit
they always
goated.
manage to find that form.
They really do.
Bro versus Rogue versus
In the regular split.
Dignitas. That's MSO. Yeah, it's a shitter
Definitely
tournament.
not out of it. Regaining control.
Bro, let's
is a little
put-
bit
let's
tough in
put
this scenario,
fucking
though.
SK
Obviously,
in
these
there,
choke
deal.
points are very dangerous.
Toby.
A lot of
This
damage.
driver-
Sorry, it's Fnatic.
The driver, bit of free poke. Carry off
Oh.
the side, really determined to take
Driver
away
just
that
got
engage
cooked.
option. Carry
Pop
getting
Blossom
lower
again.
and lower. Pop
Save
Blossom a little bit
Project
extra shielding, but
Faker.
Doggo managed to finish it, and all eyes, they've forgotten entirely about the Otacon. They're forced to pull back.
Oh,
Driver traded in the meantime. It's just the
Driver.
1-for-1 support for a top laner. But now
too
the
early from
re-engage.
Doran.
Faker
Oh my
finds his man, and
god.
Owner and Guma are there to
Here's
follow.
Doran
Top
with an
laner.
ulti.
Doran locked up
He's
for a moment.
dead.
It should be the first down. They need to get the hell out when it becomes lightning. Does not connect. T1 can't follow up.
Oh,
Otacon is still alive, crucially. But
I don't know, guys. They're winning the game, but it's like T1 is just a warm-up session or what?
Overall, demand a response from the side
Bro,
of CFO.
Doran.
That too is Doran as he jumps into two people, gets blown up before the rest of his team arrives. Not
He's
quite
like, I got this, guys. Don't
ready
worry.
for the damage that Doggo was going to dish out. But the story of a lot of these skirmishes become
content game.
Initially doesn't look too bad, but as
What
the fight
LCP team is
continues,
that
T1 just
EWC chat?
out-execute. So
What LCP team?
That's not the end of the world.
Do you know?
You get the snipe on the carry.
I'm assuming Talon. Talon seems like they're partnered with it or something, right?
But I want you to see what happens to CFO instead. They think they smell weakness.
Damn CFO.
That's not a flash. That's just
Is it?
straight up a terrorist.
No, this is that's MSI. I'm talking about AWC.
They walk into it anyway. As
I had to double check too. Wait, did he just get a bear without flashing? The answer is yes.
We do see
same as MSI.
Yadakan not taken by T1, so the gold lead is slowly increasing, but CFO...
Bro, if you get to MSI finals, you're going to be exhausted going to EWC. If I was a team going to EWC, I would seriously, I'd play for fun, and then the idea is that like I can have a rest at EWC because we got out early, we go home early. I don't know.
Playoffs as well, like, oh, I have a low health bar, walking in, walking back, trying to bait people in as Chunja.
Genji would get back like 2 days before LCK starts. True.
Dragon.
What an exhausting year.
Doran is a new addition to this lineup.
Wouldn't you make a shitload of money though?
The four-man core of this T1 team have played together for so
I don't know what they're
damn
predicting for
long.
EWZ for
that
winners.
level of coordination you really do get to see in the fights where they're so comfortable playing across multiple fronts.
Nice honk you.
We'll break this tower. Doran there to respond.
Now let's fight over Dragon. I want to see Cinema. 19 kills, 24 minutes. T1 are going to send it. Let's go. Show me. Doran angle. Driver's going to ult through river.
Response from Faker. They see him now. Gives him a little bit more access to step up.
You doubt the players get any?
On a deep flank, but
that sentence without context is bad. Oh, Doran.
Doran waiting on
Doggo.
Humble Dash takes him out.
They're just going to jump on him.
Wave cleared bot side.
Doggo's just hitting him. Bro, Doran is half HP. Okay, but now they're going on Junja. What is happening? What are we doing? Driver just got Guma. Pop Blossom. Okay, but there's no Guma. What is happening? Here's Faker. Okay. By the way, Doran died on the back. There's an ambulance going past. Faker's dead.
And the first engage from Junja.
What are they doing?
There's no follow-up. The Zinzao obviously going to
Fun
be
Fun
really
got a
hard
lot.
to take
True.
down.
True.
But Doran,
bro, CFO are getting a lot here.
And then Driver comes in.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Drives right into the backline of T1 as they get blown up. And now
It's
T1 is the one you think about when you see these Barons, but it's CFO that's going to be taking the first one in this series.
A 25-minute Baron rush in game one, going to CFO, unprecedented. The question on our minds as we entered this series was, can they weather the storm of the early game? And so far, the answer is yes, and not only that.
SKT effort.
Able to find these fight angles. It's not just T1
who needs CFO glaze. They're playing good.
CFO matching.
So Doran is already out of this fight. Kywin,
they are. Their comp allows for them to play chaotic as fuck like this.
Right here.
Doran.
Do note Faker isn't here. He actually has to TP in. He was setting up for Otacon. And the rest of the team just
you wouldn't say CFO are playing good? I mean, they're playing explosive. They're matching T1. They're catching the ball. T1 is throwing them.
I imagine you're going to get them to Dragon as well, and possibly also Otacon.
Bro, the button-up shirts are clean.
Over into the river, and with this Baron,
pre-roll ads disabled for 38 minutes. What do you mean ad break?
And this is going to be a massive gold shift because there's still tier 1s on the top.
Chat, ads are fucked. I'm just going to pause. It's a VOD. We're going to talk for the meantime. I'm going to make sure no one misses out. For those on YouTube, you can't hear it. Come to Twitch. It says 50 seconds. What am I eating for lunch? I don't know. I don't know what we got for lunch today. I made a killer lasagna last night that was gluten-free because my stomach, I'll do the poo-poos. I don't want to do the poo-poos. So yeah, I did good things. You love this one? Yeah, Panda, you get it. You understand it, don't you? What up, Panda? How you doing, man? 23 seconds. Bechamel, I mean, okay, to be fair, that wasn't gluten-free. I got a pre-made bechamel. I could have just made it, I know. I could have just made it, but I couldn't be bothered. I was lazy. I got a pre-made bechamel from Tomy, the brand that does the mayonnaise. Pre-made, I know, it's fucking lazy. All right, we're out. Thank you for waiting for the intermission. Chat, I'm sorry about the ads. They were cooked because the stream DC'd. Don't worry, I've got Wireshark on, and I can send that to the authorities if need be.
Top side, there's still double objectives
lovely.
in the bottom lane, and you can see the start of what felt like an inevitable red tide.
Hobie got a
T1 on this
penta,
red
you
side
missed
just
it.
doing so much work, but CFO
Thank you
fighting
so
back,
much.
putting themselves in a good position. Doesn't seem like they want to overcommit to the Otacon. The resist shred's
Can I
still
have another coffee,
terrifying
please,
against a
you think?
champion like the Annie.
Yeah, if that's
Junja
okay.
is starting it.
Or a
Gorn
cup of tea, whatever you
waiting
make
in the
me would be
darkness.
great.
Oh, T1. This is the only thing that's a bit precarious. Otacon obviously insanely strong at shredding teams.
Doran flank. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what the intermission. Intermission? That's a clone. 3 are over. Oh, they got baited by the clone. T1 is still hitting this.
Taking control, but I don't
Guys,
think that
get
they
off
can do
the
this either, and they
Otacon.
know they just want to stall, right?
But this is
run
fine.
out this Baron.
Think about CFO being in this position, it makes it
A
easy.
T1
because
gonna
T1
play
don't need to worry
bad
about
and then
anything
level
else
up
on
in
map.
the
They don't
tournament.
have a good top wave to play around. No towers are under threat. T1 just keeping them here is taking away all that Baron time.
Flank. Kaiwing on a ward. On a ward. Kaiwing Mistaker. Mistaker. Pantheon ulti in Guma. Caught, maybe? No, Driver can't do anything. Junja just entered. Uh-oh, CFO. Uh-oh. Doing the minor region thing. Uh-oh. I mean, Carrier missed the Tangle Barbs. That was a bad Tangle Barbs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's the classic Korea versus, like, intermediate region. Uh-oh.
And that they probably could have gotten away with, but CFO, to their detriment, want to try and salvage the situation as they run with Baron buff, by the way. Could have backed off, just shoved out the waves.
And chat has been chaotic. I haven't been mega invested in this game because this game one has just been fucking yakety sacks. Like, I don't know, it's been entertaining. It's one of those games you sit back, you get popcorn, and you go, oh yeah, man, this is a good movie. I like this movie. This is good. These next 3 hours are going to be enjoyable, you know?
Plus the fact that Otacon was
yeah, you think CFO are going to win this, bro, for sure now. T1 and have content.
T1 just took 2
both hands on the keyboard and mouse. That was such an int from CFO.
Brief glimmer of hope if we can see the gold.
Stop doubting,
again.
sure.
A single blip in the entirety
Why
of
is that guy in a blanket? Is it cold in the arena?
Where CFO had that big advantage, and now we're right back to 3K in favor of T1.
Yeah,
there it is.
I was going to call for
a little tiny blip of
there
blue
it is.
hope taken away.
Blue hope.
In the
Now they got blue balls.
T1. They're just terrifying.
It's a 3K gold lead.
For that.
Dude, that's such an int.
That's CFO not losing any of their inhibs.
That was such an int. Yeah, I can't believe the guy had a blanket on.
So no
Has anyone been in the arena in chat yet? Has anyone actually been seeing the games live? PHK, Dustin, Ymir, and Guri. Yo, any of you guys been? Anyone else?
By the explosion from the Otacon.
Or is anyone going, I've got a blanket on right now. You're there now. Shut up. Shut up, Shimmer.
Going a little bit too aggressive, playing.
You're not in the arena, bro. They kicked you out years ago.
And T1, they're always going to throw.
I'll be there on the 5th and the 9th. That's what I'm talking about.
This is what they do.
Chat, you know why I'm really sad about not going to MSI? I've never been to Canada. I wanted to go to Canada.
Poking and prodding and trying to find those
I
angles
wanted
of
to go
attack.
to Canada.
T1 showing their experience.
The TP.
It's a TP from behind. Junja not quite in a great position. Might be caught out here. TP and Gravity field the response, but
Fake a pick. Pop Blossom again. Honq buys a bit of time, but he's still dead.
Down goes the Victor as Carrier grabs the kill.
GA.
Resurrection coming in for Owner. All they got was the GA on the other front of the
That's
fight.
an early
T1
GA. Did he just go GA
on the top
second?
side.
Could have been worse for CFO as Honq does go down, but a GA plus a couple of
Driver's
summoners.
still tagged by
Not the
Tibbers.
worst trade. It's about the aftermath. I think this initial
He's still
play not
tagged
too
by
bad, but
Tibbers.
if they lose Driver as well.
He was just on vision on Tibbers. That was just bad.
Again.
Guys, come on. Come on. This game felt so free. T1 were just like clawing at straws.
You have to back off. You have to give them that respect because they will always take just a little bit more.
They're probably asleep, mate. It's 5 a.m. Yeah, but there are people from Canada in this chat, I guarantee you right now. They're just watching a race stream because they're bored.
That as we got later into the
because
game,
they don't want to be alone. They don't want to go to bed alone, do you, chat? You don't want to go to bed alone. So I'm here for you. I'll help you go to sleep. Shush.
Well, it is also
put the phone down.
The
Yo,
T1
Yahtzee,
composition,
whatever.
as long as they can keep coming in as
You
they
with
have
the chair?
been doing
Oh my God, I
from
knew it.
different angles.
Papamita.
If you don't get the front to back, then the CFO comp will struggle a lot more. Right? Victor in
I've
particular,
had poutine here. There's a place called Fry's
insane
Work,
amounts of
Freeze
damage, but
Work or
once you
whatever.
get
It
on
does like
top of him,
poutine.
particularly with a lot of the more
It's not bad, but I'm sure poutine is better, right?
On T1.
Add the panel so you can see the viewer's location. How do I do that? How do I do that?
Needlessly large rod done. Also approaching a
Twitch
fourth item on
panel
Doggo.
extensions.
Maybe those
I'll
are the
Google that and
breakpoints.
it'll give me something, right?
See if I can try to play towards. But
A revolution in live streaming.
I've seen
Is it?
T1 in these type of scrappy games before. And that's how they like it.
Yeah.
Creator,
and I think
my
for Hongq, a player
extensions.
who had that massive lead caught out in the previous fight, he needs to
TV
play flawlessly
/Derek's
because
cast.
he's staring
That's
down
me.
Faker
That's my name.
with a book.
Hold up, chat. I'm going to add it.
First game, obviously,
Hold up, chat.
an
I'm
honor
going to
always
add
play
it, yeah?
against the GOAT, but that's tough.
Yo, you guys are the
winning.
GOAT,
You did
actually.
have the lead, and
Have I
now
told you
Faker's
that?
chasing
Have I told you that?
as many stacks as he can get.
Ooh, Owner starting
Have I told you?
So if they're going a little
T1
bit
don't
wide,
in.
it is the Faker.
T1 don't in.
Carrier.
Okay.
Just going to lose the
Actually, you know what? I don't care. Show me a bit of anything. Let's see what happens.
Protobell up and available.
All they need
Let's
to
see what
do is
happens.
just stall for Doran, right? Doran can always TP in case
Extensions.
an engage does come through. And now CFO spotted.
Thank you.
I think the opportunity has passed to try and actually look for a play.
But that's just the geo. That's my geolocation.
As
Ezreal.
did get called out. We see Doran hold off on the damage for a little bit.
Hang on.
Third Drake for the side of T1 now. Soul Point, 5K gold lead. 17 more flowers on
Extensions.
top of that.
Viewer
The only lead
location.
left, or the only lane left with an advantage is mid lane.
Viewer
It's just so
geolocation.
difficult
Add.
for CFO to come in to find that front to back you talked about. Often it hinges on having better vision setup,
Add
better
as a new
prio,
panel.
but they've had to concede so many
Extension
side waves
panel 1.
just to be able to
Chat,
fight
refresh. Can you see it
5v5.
now? Is it there?
The 2-1 consistently retaking control, denying vision. All they need, particularly with these Hex
Is it
Tech
there?
gates, which we've already seen one of the plays didn't end up working out for Carrier. Faker was able to
I see
make
it.
his exit, but repeatedly, you don't know who's coming over. Can be the Doran,
No Canadians.
Aatrox, can
Oh,
be
so they lied to me.
Carrier,
So
can
you're
be
all
fake
lying to me.
Carrier.
Now
Hard
I'm
to-
gonna look.
or
I want to know where you
Carrier
are.
faking
What's the
someone
spell?
else. Yep.
Could be fake
Now
anybody.
I want to see. You guys are lying. I thought there were Canadians in here.
The thing about it is they've done a good job of tracking one player. Faker,
Current viewer
Carrier, but
location.
both at the same time is so
Why do I
difficult
only
if you
have-
forget about one.
Dude,
we've seen
no
how
one
quickly
else
a team
is in
fight
the-
can turn.
Doran now also has the death stance done. Look at that Hongq. He is getting
says
close
there's
to the
3
death cap. That's
Canadians.
such an immense spike. Victor
But it says there's
approaching
3
max level
Germans
as well.
online.
The only gold lead that's still there. But he needs
I have
to be
5
able to
viewers.
play the game, right? He needs to actually be able to get multiple spell rotations off. The rest of the team needs to keep him safe.
Yo, oh, you
Since
guys
said
all
they're
need to
done,
refresh
when
for
T1
it
keep coming in
because
from
I just
50
added it to
million
the
different
stream.
angles at the same time as Baron is up.
Everyone press
Both
R to
teams
refresh.
Gravitating towards that.
T1 still
Yo, I
steady
have
and
an
controlled around
Australian,
objective,
I
using
have
the
a
Nico
great
clone as much as
British
they
man
can to
or
face check
woman.
into those brushes,
I have someone
getting
from
mid-fire
Finland,
before they lay down their vision.
United
Looks like
States of
resets
America,
coming through, so a
Slovenia.
moment for CFO to
Holy
try and get
turkey.
something.
Look at the
Ulti
refreshes.
in to cancel.
5
Good
viewers, I
vision
fell
coverage.
off.
They just wanted to lead the sport
Oh,
fighting
we
in front.
found
Carrier
T1.
running for his life. He's
Carrier
going
dead.
for Ignite should
Carrier's
just
dead
take him
again.
out. Brian Wayne grabbing that
It's
one.
a game
Faker's
of
waiting on the
throws
wall. The bear
for
drops,
us,
but
GA
not on a
Pop.
crucial target. Hongq and Driver not
Oh,
able to
maybe
get
a
the
bad
team
fight.
coming in.
Doran
Doran
flash,
flash
though.
to the side.
Doran
He has to
reposition.
be the difference maker.
Sign in the
They need
way.
an ulti out.
Oh,
Dog
dear
over now.
Lord.
Gets into the
How is it
box as much
working for
damage as
T1?
possible. Doran isolated on the side.
Doran
He's
is going to
got the
die.
attention
Watch him
of
heal.
two.
No,
And
he doesn't
Ogre's
heal.
looking to take down Doggo.
I don't know about this
Doran might
game.
go down, but he did his job. Stole.
I see a Canadian flag.
As one of the most dangerous members on CFO didn't get to join the fight. And Carrier goes down. But the positioning that CFO put themselves in didn't do them any favors. The damage from Faker was enough, and now Baron started up here for T1.
They got Carrier. They got Doran, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Kuma, owner, Faker still
know where it is.
standing
I'll get it after
strong.
the game.
Quick stun onto Driver. Gravity Field will lock up Faker for a brief moment. Decimating Smash doesn't
No
connect.
Scotland flag.
Objective going to be
Through.
stolen out by owner and a quick
Where's the
retreat
rep?
as they manage to grab the Baron, and now
done.
CFO need to
Oh,
get
they
the
got
hell
Baron
out.
and Driver.
Unstoppable
He's
is
out.
the Scion, but Hongq
Faker,
is going
though.
to be in trouble. Has to flash away as the
Oh,
sun
he
flies
got
through
it.
the air.
Faker with the
layering
tech.
his skills beautifully. Tibbers
With the
laid
tech.
down, and down
They're
goes
clean with it,
Hongq.
chat. They're clean with it.
T1, that might just be it. They're going to be able
They
to get
are
Driver as well. They have the Baron buff.
Carrier
with it.
respawning. Able to find the CC. Driver zoned off. Recalls in the mid lane from Faker. He can TP right back if he needs to. Ulti down mid to try and clear, but in the blink of an
he's out.
eye.
Oh,
No
thank you.
opportunity
A
to
nice
scale, no
coffee.
soul in
Thank
this game.
you.
T1
you,
poised
pregnant
to
lady.
end it here.
Big chat. I got an iced coffee.
Brief
Look.
glimmer of CFO hope, but that's all we got to see. Otherwise, total control.
You
from
wish you
T1,
were me.
even despite
Still
a few
hunting him.
fights.
You wish you
It's
were
just
me.
unrelenting, Dracos. It's mean.
He just wants, he's never going to get the chance to recall. And now Doran's here to finish the job.
Holy-
His ulti's back up.
Wait, it's a
His
race.
ulti's back up. Go, Driver.
Go, Driver, go.
Doran's just going to keep chasing. I don't think he can finish channeling a recall. He
I think
can't.
it's okay.
He just wants to go home, and T1 won't let it happen.
It's okay. The milk is sweet enough.
It's body
They're
bag
still
or
going.
no
Oh.
bag.
Oh.
The gates.
He's
Oh
gonna
my
do
God,
it.
bro. Has
Wait,
Driver
back
back
in vision.
this
But it's
year?
back.
Bro, they're going to end the game. They're going to end the game.
Pantheon. Junja involved in the fight, trying to isolate up to the side.
Faker's
Doggo
getting
still living,
caught.
but
Pop
it
Blossom
does
again. It's
not
over.
Matter. T1.
This
may
was
have
the
faltered, but
silliest
they will
game of
not
MSI.
drop a game.
This was
They
the
find the
silliest
victory
game
in game
of
one.
MSI. Oh, yeah.
The back and forth here in this first game between CFO and T1.
It's mega sweet. It's mega sweet.
When the dust settles and the continuous brawling ends, T1 able to just win a couple of crucial fights. I'm going to be going back to that
stevia,
stall
but it's concentrated
when the Baron was
stevia.
taken. The Baron
Bro, we
buff
had this concentrated
after a great
stevia
play
chat,
from
and it's like
CFO.
you put it in a drink. It's
Fun,
so
right?
sweet. It's like the sweetest thing I've ever had.
Low health. Owner.
Outside of my wife.
Like zeroed in on owner.
That game was silly. That game
And
was silly.
even
I am
when
hilarious.
laners,
All right,
right?
let's do it. Let's look at it.
Because we've got some
Where's
fun
your
top
dumpling?
laners in this. We'll see
Where's your
if
dumpling?
TFO are going
Where's
to end
your
up
toy
swapping. I
dumpling?
know they have committed
Bro,
to
this dog has a toy dumpling that squeaks. I can't.
The fights have been
And she does a
pretty
little
good.
like playful bark. She's
even
like.
the damage for him.
I mean, maybe we keep our eyes.
All right, chat. Game 2. Let's go. Lock in. Lock in. Yo, you guys enjoying the stream? Quick side note. I hope you are. If you're not, send me feedback. Yo, I want to make sure this thing is perfected by the time we get to finals, yeah? Or send me. Joey, where's your dumpling? No, she wants the brown bear. The brown bear she's going to. It's behind her. It's just behind her. Okay, I don't know what she wants. Okay, no more. Shush, shush.
Highwing on the ward.
Hey.
On the ward. Highway wants to go extra. And in the end, the substitution did.
If you
Okay.
try to like
Show
it.
Doggo. I can't. She's
Either
having a
go-
fit. She's having a tantrum. She's having a little
The
tantrum.
roster has the agency to kick a play off. Because you saw when the Scion was in a good position, when the Pantheon was there. So he's entered champion.
You want to go outside? She need to poop.
Now
Doggo
they've
is on
returned to the
stage.
blue
Yeah,
side,
Doggo's
of
on
course, with
stage.
their
That's what I'm
choice.
talking about. I'm talking to Doggo.
No real surprises there. Going to maintain those, at least the
She's
first one, I
fine.
imagine.
What do you mean, poor thing?
Same bands towards
We've
Honko
had
as
her
well.
for like a day.
That game
Chat,
lane
we've only
phase
had her
was
for a
still
day.
good
We're looking after it.
performance,
It's a
but
friend's dog.
as so
We're looking
often with
after it
Victor,
today
even
and
with
tomorrow, and
getting
then that's
the
it.
early items, right? The early Roa kill he was able to find.
She can't really sleep on her
Actual
own though.
damage from the Victor just never really materialized.
keeps
partially
pacing
because
up and
T1's
down.
collapses, but also
She got
partially
excited?
because
I don't know.
Victor just
Ow, ow, ow.
really needs a lot of time,
All right,
especially
listen.
if you go for the Roa into
Listen.
Cosmic Drive.
I don't know what to expect,
a
but
really long
T1
time
entertainment value
to
has
really
gone
get going
from
as
what I
we
thought would
see
be 50%
Zero band away
to a
as well.
solid 60 in
Doesn't
this
wanna give
series.
them that
So
feeling
give me a
of
little bit more. Chat, also, side note, I'll run the ads after
Trying to
Giraffe. They'll
use
be
on
cooked
this.
and queued up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Took quite a bit of
They
time.
won't be
You
cooked, they'll be
understand
anti-cooked.
Your
They'll be
voice stuff, which
marinated.
You also really want.
it's tough because you
It's
want
tough.
some of those defensive options. You've been getting it on all sides, different players diving in.
Okay,
finding
I think they
cages.
need easy tools. I don't know what CFO plays, but I would assume
Now
this is a
TF
Sejuani
Rumble
Yone
to
comp
follow.
game, you know?
Coin and Rumble both off. the
Rumble's
board
gone.
Again. Okay, Twisted Fate as well.
They can pick like a Cassante comp, they can go
A
Sedge,
lot of high
they can go
prio
Renekton.
jungles available.
Vi comes to mind.
Vi does come to
Big
mind.
priority pick up here.
But Yone
The downside
is
of Vi
just,
that
there's
obviously
just this
does
thought.
tilt your draft in a
Because they might
specific
go Vi
direction.
Ari if you don't pick
There's
something
the opportunity to
for
go. We've seen
CFO
things like the Skarner be picked into it pretty often.
True.
that sets up a team fight. I mean, look, maybe
Not
you
a
just
pick,
lose it
but
anyway.
Does well.
There's the
Does
Vi
look like that is
takeaway.
going to be the B1 here, and then
Owner
for
can
Owner,
just
I'm
take
gonna
Wukong.
Probably say Wukong for
Yeah.
deeper
Wukong
in.
Ari.
Might have been Skarner, but this early on, I think
Fucking
you'll be
bro.
very happy to just be on a carry again.
We've seen how good the Wukong can be into the Vi, whether it's counter engaging.
Look,
as she goes
Wukong
in
Ari, seeing
to your
fake
back
as
position,
Ari.
or just
Bro, what a
use
treat.
the
Come on.
clone in the 1v1.
Come on.
Have the luxury of double picks here. Oh, the early Callista alongside
Kalista
the
Renata. All right.
Not what
They
you would
are
expect, but they know the jungle position
in
isn't
business.
contested anymore, so maybe happy to let a few bands
But you can
through.
go the
Much more
Ash lane.
concerned
You can go
about
Ash
securing that
Seraphine here.
Powerhouse 2v2.
Ash
and
Seraphine.
There's
Ash
this
with
is a
another
duo.
Enchanter,
I think there's
Ash
so
Karma.
much work done.
So this is great on 3 levels. Renata into Vi is always going to feel great. You can stall with the bailout, and Vi is not
Let's
going
go
to have
the
a choice
Ash.
but to go in, so the
Is
ultimate will
Kalista
always get
0-5? I
value.
didn't see that. That's
Then,
hilarious.
On top of that,
If they go Zaya
Zaya
Rakan,
Rakan, of the 2v2 as possible.
then you do
And
need
Nico
something big
is
and
out
top.
of the pool.
Oh,
Nico
okay.
is one of the few champions
Lucian
that we have
Nami.
seen had consistently
Lucian
good
Brom,
matchups
maybe?
into Renata. It's quite hard for Renata, and the big benefit of Nico
Really-
is that
we
you
haven't-
can
we haven't seen
obviously
that much
cook
Nami.
harder and
It
try
could
to
just be
really go for
Lucian-
something
Lucian
crazy
Brom.
into Renata, but then if that doesn't pan out early, you are kind of out of luck.
It's a
And
preference,
Nico
really,
has
isn't
so
it?
much value just throughout the entirety of the game that
What kind of disengage do you want?
players are happy to pick her up regardless now.
My keyboard broke from saying I love T1 too much. That person should be monitored. Hydrate? Oh, I'm hydrating.
Has picked it up once before, of course. When you see Kaiwing on a non-engaged support,
why doesn't Jana get played as a disengaged mage support?
Even that Leona in the previous
Maybe it's
game,
about how much people have actually played in solo queue.
But the Lucian army,
maybe it's about how it fits in the comp.
Obviously a force to be reckoned with.
Maybe there's just better enchanters for disengage.
The range the Coling brings against champions like Kalista, maybe even this Rise, if it's locked in, can do a lot of work.
Reckless likes it as an option into Tristana. I mean, a lot of people say it's good into options that can all-in.
Especially against a duo like Gumushi.
So it could be specific all-ins just not played.
Looks to be Faker's Rise.
Scuttle crabs are friends, not farm.
Probably just continuing
the poses are cool. The poses are cool. So we get Faker on Rise. What a classic.
Good matchup as possible.
And I think the nice thing about taking Corki in the game one as well is that it is.
Do you think it's interesting that they didn't put Faker with a Hall of Legends Rise skin? Wouldn't that have made more sense historically?
Wants to go next? It's a bit tough.
It was an Ari skin, I get it, but like, wouldn't Rise make more sense?
There's also Crocolord sign there as well. The Galio obviously has the ability to shake off a lot of what Rise does. Rise also has no choice but to get close to him.
Galio
when the team
they're going to play
fights
Silas.
break out, and you can follow the
no,
with
Rise
your ultimate. Thereby somewhat mitigating the
already SKT Rise.
Especially for a player
wouldn't
like
sell
Faker.
as much.
We know he doesn't really play for lane. He's just playing for the skirmishes. He's playing for. In this game,
bro, did you guys see? I saw Mark's stream last night. I saw the Wild Rift skins. Speaking of selling, and all like the pool party skins. They were just like, I'm like, as if Riot approved some of these. They're like half naked skins on a mobile phone version of League of Legends. Bro, they're just crazy. I'm just like, what the hell?
Is to come through as this Cassiopeia.
Do Ari because that would sell the most. Does he get a commission for it? Does he get?
So
does he get
fire with fire in terms of the short range kind of scaling?
Fan service. There are fan service for sure.
Right, counter pick that we have seen.
Also, does he get a commission? Does he get like $50 a skin?
Of course, yesterday was his birthday. Now 18. I think 18-year-olds.
You don't get a pool party with a load of clothing, no, but you also.
The band you cannot see.
I don't know, bro. I'm not getting into it. Yeah, they missed a ban.
Poppy ban.
Oh, it's a Poppy ban. Okay.
Apologies for the confusion there, but Poppy has now been taken away.
Well, Poppy's good against this comp. That's a good ban from CFO.
What are the options going to be from the side?
And then just get Wukong. It's just going to be a really good team fighting comp from T1. They're just going to skirmish non-stop. This is going to be a bloodthirsty game, actually, chat. It's setting up for that way.
Goes life a lot harder, and it's good into the Vi as well. Obviously able to slip away. I've seen more
maybe they're fishing for something a little bit more mobile mid. No way you're going to play Zed.
Oh, that's
if you play Zed versus Faker, that would be hilarious. Oh, do it. Do it.
We've seen this one before.
Please. Please, Honkyu. Please. Please. Cassante.
Definitely an option. They want a little bit more time to decide what he's going to go for.
Zed kind of fits here. It kind of doesn't, right?
Definitely doesn't feel too bad.
Nah, it's Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol gives the scaling element. Then you also have this front to back. Your early game's focused around bot and you transition well. Silas gets to steal quite a lot of good ultis. Renata ult.
It's again one of those picks.
Ari versus Faker.
Aurora
for the lane. I mean, one of them for the lane. They want to play for the lane. Good pairing.
If I remember correctly, when they were matched down.
Zoe has been played in EU. That's why I'm pausing.
So that does mean a lot more backline threat for
but it was kind of like a Vladdy special.
On T1, but
good into mages, really good into mages that can outrange and pop.
You don't get a good start.
All right, chat. What's your thought? What's your thought? What do we round this out? Dorat, what are you going to do into Cassante? Are you just going to play Renekton? Camille?
You predicted the Camille angle.
Jax would be better. Jax is good.
Also a potential option.
Jax is good. Their solo lanes are set up. They can play towards bot. I think T1, their draft is good. I think the draft is pretty well rounded. If I took nameplates off, I'd say it's pretty even across the board. I'd say it's pretty even. I'd say that you've got stronger mid jungle for CFO. I probably would have preferred Ari, but Aurora does something much of a muchness, similar. Stronger 2v2 out of bot in the laning phase, but CFO one item. Let's see. I don't mind drafts from both teams. I feel like this is probably the most well-rounded I've seen it today. I don't know how you guys agree, but chat, I'm going to run ads. Yeah, I run them now. I'm sorry about before. I'm sorry they weren't buffered. I appreciate all the follows, all the love, all the support. Remember, every day is a restream that is live. No spoilers. Every single day, yeah? I do this stream so that I can actually just watch the series back, but also watch it in like a live environment. I hope you guys enjoy it. Any feedback to make the streams better, you can go to !Discord. Drop it in the Discord. Yo, Haley, I made you a mod in the Discord. Do you want to make a channel? Or maybe maybe I'll do it
really easy
afterwards.
duo
We'll make a feedback
to
channel for
follow early
MSI.
game and have it all
So if you
fall
guys can
apart.
drop anything there,
Whoever
if you want to make the
gets
stream
red
better,
early,
if you're like,
that
I don't
matchup's
like
gonna be
this, or
great.
I feel like I'm getting
That's what it
spoiled
boils
by
down to.
this, or I don't,
If you
you
miss
know,
a bubble and
I'll try my
then
best to
popping
fix it.
Callista and get the stack
Obviously, the
around,
internet right
can be
now is a
really rough,
pain.
but if
I'm
the
going to talk
Lucian pulls
to
ahead,
the
has
people
his
after
ultimate
stream
available,
again
just
and try and get it
blow
fixed. But I'm going to run ads now,
through
so you don't get them
good
before game.
amount of
Oh
the
my
health bar.
god.
Not that much you can
Jesus
do.
Christ, that was
You know, I
intense.
didn't believe her, but that was I believe her now that she broke her keyboard
yeah,
from typing
yeah.
I love T1 too hard. That was a level of enthusiasm that's tough to match. But here we are, game 2, T1,
Yo, shout out to Nomit,
off to a heck of a
who
start. CFCO,
got me onto
FO,
this
new top laner,
thingy
subbed
thing.
in. I shouldn't say new.
this app
West,
that
the
is
other
now
top laner,
capturing all the
subbed in.
data.
Not new. No stranger to this lineup.
What we saw in game number 1 there was
I hope
that
it's not
Jujut
lagging
was
anything.
able
I
to
mean, it's a
have
big program.
big impact early, right? Found that very early gank towards the bottom side of the map. I would expect him to look for something similar, as we can see starting on the top side. And the big difference here is that last game, I think the power in early game was a lot more even. But Vi,
Who are you rooting for at
46,
MSI? Who do you
even
think
though
will
she's
win?
not as strong as when she gets her ultimate, has still great ganking power.
I mean, I put
Wukong,
Gen G as winners of MSI, and the
It's
reason I
fine.
put Gen
Yeah,
G is I
it's
just
just
went
not
off regular
great.
season
As we
and how
take
strong they
another look
were.
here, as
I mean, it
mentioned,
felt right.
These two players very consistently swapping, and CFO really uses this in their drafts and in their best of fives.
Yep.
Why is
Driving the
Shen
players on
in the
game
middle?
1, pulling out the Scion, more of that tank identity.
Shyvana.
They both
And,
play
yeah,
Shen. Is
wrestling
that the
aside,
only one?
More willing to cook. He is the spice. You know, he's the guy who's got the sauce.
Oh yeah,
he
because
picks,
it's Rest
is
this
willing
game,
to
chat. I
try
forgot.
new things. Of course, he's playing
Rest is
Cassandra
the
this
big Gnar
game,
player.
so
Rest is a great Gnar player.
sometimes the sauce.
Is this the
is
first
vanilla,
series, or did you
but
see the other one already? We've already done the other one.
Ooh,
Other
I've seen
series.
this before
you know?
with specifically lethal tempo jacks, but with Grasp, he has Counter-Strike, so he can
Walk up.
really be very, very
Okay, so
obnoxious
Penumbral's
here.
just
to be
going for
nuisance.
CFO. Oh,
Now
Doran,
just
pain
starts
in the
to
ass.
retreat,
I just dropped my squeegee ball.
trying to slow this
How did it
down
end?
just a bit.
Well, I'll
Gets
tell
away
you
from
one
what
thing.
could be
I'll
a
tell you
pretty
one thing.
frustrating level 1 against the
Koi
Cassandra,
look a
obviously
lot
much
better than I
lower
thought they would
cooldown.
going into an
Oh,
international.
Rest gonna miss XP.
Oh, Rest flashes for experience.
Oh, I think he got 2 out of the 3, maybe even only one.
He got 2. He got 2.
For those of
Even
you,
with the flash.
He got 2. But now he has no
Missed.
flash.
confirmation
Bro,
from
he flashed
production.
for...
Wasn't able to get in range. You can see a fast level 2 coming in for Doran, and that is brutal. It might look a little bit
He
strange if
flashed
you're not used to
for-
seeing
for-
something like that.
he
but
got
the
1
experience
minion.
is so important in that matchup. Willing to flash just
Oh.
to get that last little bit extra.
Oh my
and
God,
now
bro.
he's disastrously far
Bro,
behind.
Rest. What an
The
intro to
only good
MSI.
news is
Flying
it's a Wukong in the
Oysters is a
jungle who
top
just
tier
wants to
name.
farm for 6. It's not an
Bro,
early
where have
diver.
you
There
been?
is no massive
Been in
threat
a
on your
hole?
life just yet, but for Rest, this is a miserable start to the laning phase.
It is.
It's really
Oh,
as
chat.
mentioned,
Yo,
I
the
think
fact that
we have seen
Doran is going to
Cassandra
be
after
like
all his changes
MVP of the
actually
series,
be
I'm
a pretty
calling it.
formidable laner, particularly
Koi should have won
early on,
game 4, but they misplayed
able
badly at the
to
end. True,
outtrade
actually.
a lot of champions, Jax
That's a better
included.
synopsis than mine.
And Owner
Yo,
making the
Atrom,
read that
Koi
since
could have gone to a
Junja
game 5.
was
There you go.
Slightly delayed on his play and has Pryo in the bot lane, is going to look for a steal here.
BLG a bit sloppy with their
but I
fights,
don't know if he
but
cares.
Owner
to be
going over
fair,
the wall.
after overcommitting mid,
Nice little
Koi
leader
lost the
from
game.
Junja. Still
They
picks one of the
overcommitted
small
mid
ones, but the
for
big one did go
mid
to
tier
Owner.
1, and it was
Can
a
only
horror.
imagine that they want to try and go for this red buff as well. T1.
Owner
It's
is a
Kalista,
pain.
Renata.
Yeah, you
They
can't
would
fight
love
this.
to scrap.
You cannot fight this.
Junja maybe
Junja's
hoping
going to look for a
So
steal,
that's
but he
actually
might die
smite,
for it.
but T1
Oh,
looks like
flashes
hoping
the
for
handshake.
Junja.
They
Is
keep
forced to
aggro on
flash
red
away
buff.
from the handshake.
He has smite.
Junja comes back in,
He's going to get the
no.
opportunity. Oh, over the ball.
Can he steal it?
Oh my god, he got it. Owner didn't have
Nice
smite.
little heist and a little bit of hope for Junja. That was a rough start. And
That was a really good- they can find a fight off this. Guma's
You
isolated.
can see Guma getting chunked out. Bubble going to connect on the one. Owner
They got
on
the
way
slow.
in.
Heal.
already used
Yes,
from
red buff.
Doggo.
Oh my god, they won that.
But they get a
CFO
barrier,
won
they
that,
get the
dude.
heal in exchange for just a heal of their own. So
I-
Junja's
where did
flash giving
Owner's
up a
smite
little
go?
bit
Did he just
difficult,
have a
but
40-second
following
cooldown
2v2
from
at least, a nice
doing
trade
last
sums.
camp, whatever it was?
CFO
Because
not
Junja
going to
now
give
has level
anything
4,
to
gets
T1
to
for free.
reset.
Top lane matchup, a bit rough.
Bro, that guy is free to get
Thanks to
scuttle and
Doran's
go where he pleases.
Early shenanigans, but
Owner's got his
nicely
whole
done there by
bot side to
Junja
clear.
find
So
himself
Junja's
smite
got a
over
bit of
the
tempo
wall.
in this,
Big
actually.
deal, because
That was
otherwise,
huge.
I think he really starts falling far behind. It also accelerates Owner's carry.
Oh, meanwhile,
Bubble.
meanwhile,
Nice look from the side
Carrier?
of Doggo. Carrier
No
forced
mana.
to flash out.
no more mana, no more mana.
Doggo and Kaiwing
CFO
playing
with the
with
goats.
expectations
Yeah,
of
Penumbral.
T1 there. Had
I have a
expected
feeling you
a
like
recall to
CFO.
set the trap in the bush as Junja walks into
Oh,
Faker.
Faker caught.
Hongq now looking for the setup,
Enough
trying to
mana.
find a bit more
Flash,
damage. Flash
match.
forward. Faker flashing in.
Nice
First
from
blood.
Hongq. He flashes into melee range so his
Junja
W
again.
doesn't get outranged at the
Gets
end.
his own buff.
Wow,
This is
Faker burned
Crocs
flash from that. He has
doesn't
no
really care.
TP. Honky's
Just
going to
seems
get pushed.
unfazed.
That is
Makes his way
a
over
big
to the
gank.
top side of the
Yo,
map,
Junja
and
is
just as
ready to
Faker,
carry.
I think,
It's
has the
Vi
suspicion,
time from the
places
east.
down the ward.
Any Eastern
Not
Vi.
only does he get the kill, but he also gets the flash. So
Eastern
that means
Vi's
at
are
level 6 there is
crazy.
a huge opportunity
Come on,
here
Junja.
for the Vi. to make
Junja,
yet
by the way, if
another
you don't know
play
his story, chat,
on
spent a
this
lot of time on
rise.
EDG, was
And
rank
it's
1 of Chinese solo queue
plain
for a
and
long
simple.
time. And I'm pretty sure rank 1 of
Faker,
the
right as he
really nice
goes
flash.
to place the wall.
Really clean
What a
from
nice
Honkyu.
little timing coming
crisp.
in from Junja.
From Junja.
Did Doran take a turret shot?
Over the wall, face first into Doran. Doran running
Did
down.
Doran take a turret shot? Doggo timing on the swap.
The hidden Lucian is the
What?
deadliest. No one sees it coming. The Lucian gank? Are you kidding me?
Does
And
Vi still not have
respect
a
to
win?
CFO,
She won last series?
They
Yeah, she
are
did.
Cooking.
I remember
We
she
didn't
did.
see it in the pick in the form of the Cassante, but the angles that they are looking for, the quick flash over the wall. Credit to
Wow.
them, getting back into lane, getting the kill. Of course, they don't get to spend the gold yet, but this is a damn strong
Did
start. from the
Dorat
side
take
of
a
CFO.
turret shot?
Jungle up.
Look, Doggo
Bot lane.
runes.
Gonna be feeling good.
He's
I
taking
haven't even mentioned it,
electrocute.
but Doggo actually going for electrocute, which kind of insane when it comes to the
Yeah.
to the keystone.
Well, and
It's
you
to
mentioned
match the
it,
lane, I
It's
think.
all about who pulls ahead in the early game. Doggo clearly very committed to pulling ahead
So
in the early
Rest
game.
is in like a
That's kind of
ditch,
insane. Usually you
regardless.
see if you
Regardless,
wanna
he's in a
really
ditch.
play for short
But
aggressive, you see
because of
PTA,
what
and if you
Doggo
wanna
just
really
did,
only play for calling, although that style
he's gonna
hasn't
be up
been
in CS.
popular recently. You go for first,
or at least
strike.
in parity.
Bit of vision, but maybe not enough.
You have suspicion,
It's a bit
but
obvious.
and
It's
Owner's
so
also-
obvious.
He's level 5 Wukong, so
I think also the ward
Carry
outside
finds
the
the
bush maybe
handshake.
spotted. Control ward only
And
just
credit
placed
to the
down.
side of CFO. Junja and now Doggo as well.
Oh,
finding those
handshake
early
cleanse.
kills.
the
Cleanse is forced just in the 2v2.
Guma and Carrier stepping up to
Well
this
played by
wave.
Carrier.
an Owner is game zoned up,
And
so he can
let's see.
actually afford
Okay.
to do this. Obviously, just
We're gonna get into
five,
grub
but
territory
thanks to
with
his
both bot laners
continued
top.
play and the buff that he got, and the
Lanes
fact
in
that Owner
isolation,
wasted
but
a lot
still
of
very
time
good for
trying to
T1.
get it. Junja actually pulling
Faker-
out
how is
really
Faker up
nicely
in
here,
CS?
Experience, so that is going to give them another window where he
How
will
is
have his
Faker
ultimate.
up in CS
Vi
after
will be able
losing
to
an
make
entire
impacts,
wave?
and Faker
Ulti?
See Honkyu trading so
He just
aggressively.
walks it out,
Faker
though.
zooming out to safety though. Power of the phase rush. Keeps him standing.
So with
Honkyu
phase
doing
rush, you
very
can
well
walk
in
out of
the trades. Good
Aurora ult
discipline
without
from
slow
Faker.
because you
Instantly walks out.
you go through anything, right?
Keeping an eye on the purple experience bars at the bottom of your screen.
Wait, that's
Guma
so
just
good.
Slightly behind
I didn't even think about
Doggo
that.
Overall,
So you just walk through Aurora ult.
about to pick up these few creeps. So a quick level 6 could be the difference in this 2v2.
And thanks to Doggo's gank, we also see Doran no longer ahead in XP. So even though Rest
He's
uses
facing
flash level
fly,
1,
yeah.
didn't really mean anything, right? He wasn't punished for it.
So the loser of this chat has to verse
With Doran
MKOI.
dying, he's able to fully catch up, slightly behind in gold, but not really going to be the end of the world.
Oh,
Push back from Rest.
Oh.
Ulti back. Doran just going to retreat.
he took no turret shot though. Doran
Crucially
just
doesn't
chilled.
take tower aggro.
Yeah,
Bro, I feel like I'm saying things like a second before casters. You know I'm a caster because I'm just saying like the basic shit. I mean, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying like
Junja
I'm
has
just yeah,
his
no, you know.
flat or his ultimate rather available. His experience league we talked about.
So teams like CFO screaming
they
LCKL,
spotted
LPL, and regular season,
just on
yeah.
the edge there
I hear
with the
CFO
sweeper
screaming,
reward,
like I hear
which means
LCP
that
teams
T1's
screaming,
now. So
a
obviously
lot of
Faker not gonna
bottom
fall for that. Still,
LPL
nice early
teams.
game here
And I
from
hope
CFO for
Chiefs, like a
the
team like
second game in a
Chiefs who
row.
are in Taipei, would
was
do the
the
same.
objective fights were really
Rinse and
starting
repeat.
to
Faker.
see.
Faker caught out. Q flash from Junja.
Dead.
Instant
Clean.
bubble. 8 minutes in, they've already
Junja
cleared the field of warfare.
on
Grubs
Vi.
are spawning,
Bro.
and they're in a great position to take it now. Guma and Carrier trying to push back, trying to get something on the bottom side of the map, and it looks like they'll just
Sip
accept
in.
the trade. They'll accept the cross map, take first Drake of the game.
Good early game
exchange
again.
for these grubs.
Doggo's just living his best life. He's just
Faker is
walking
just
from
getting
lane
bullied
to lane. It's like,
again.
you want this kill? Take it.
Bad day to be
Want
Faker.
another?
There's no
Drake
bad
now
Faker days,
being
bro.
started here by T1. Looks like the trade is going to be Drake
Except for when he hit his
T1,
head against that
but
wall, that was a
kill
bad day.
going to CFO,
That
and
was a
those
bad day.
grubs are
I
also
still
on
cannot
the way.
believe that
Doran,
actually happened.
Again, kind of mosquitoing
Doran's stopping it.
around. But looks
He's
like
annoying.
for now
He's got
we'll be able to
Tabi.
stall. Faker
Honkyu will be able to
obviously
shred him.
has realm up available.
Was he gonna
We'll see
try
if
and
they
steal
actually
it?
want to commit to this. If the
Doran,
wave is
you've
cleared.
got Doran. Okay. Okay.
Doran standing
They got
guard,
two though.
loves his objectives, as we all know.
Very
Calling
true.
for the wave. This is going to turn into a
Maybe
dive. Here comes Ono with ult.
kill if they get over
Thin
here.
minion
Ono
wave.
level
I don't know
6
about
here
this
on the
Ono.
bottom
They're
side.
going to
Quick
roam up
heal
though.
coming out. Faker
Tidal
on the
wave.
way in. Good tidal
Sketchy
with the
dive, I
Doggo.
think.
Doesn't really have
Carrier
any mana.
fights
Nice
called.
ulti coming in from Guma to reset the
Guma's
tower
tanking.
aggro. Doggo living for an extra
Barrier.
second. Decent damage.
Onan
Onan
takes
now
half.
forced to flash
Honkyu's
away,
here.
but they got what
Gonna
they
get a
came
trade.
for. Honkyu here trying to
I
extend
can't
the
believe
fight.
this worked. This was a
Junja
sketchy
Excellent
dive.
handshake.
Junja,
Catches him in
he's
stealth.
caught.
Perfect from Carrier, caught off onto the
Onan's
side.
dead.
Wants a bit more damage.
And there's the
Junja,
Aurora ult.
again, they're keeping
Honkyu on
the blink,
Faker.
extra movements
Faker
coming
doesn't
in
have
from
phase
Tyler
rush,
Taylor,
right?
but they might not need